Today, we celebrate an extraordinary milestone, our 2000th member in Shelters United. When I founded Shelters United, it was with a vision of a place where individuals, organizations, and businesses could come together, united by a common goal, to make the world a better place for animals. But here's something truly remarkable. This year alone, we're on track to save our 2,000 members over $4 million. That's $4 million that goes right back into the hands of those working tirelessly to rescue, care for, and protect animals. It's an impact that allows our members to save more lives and create more successful adoptions. I want to express my deepest gratitude to each of you, to our members and to our partners. Together, we have not only reached a milestone, but we've made a profound impact on the lives of countless animals. Thank you for believing in Shelters United and for being part of this incredible journey. Let's continue to make a difference, one paw print at a time. And now I'd like to introduce you to our 2000 for 2000 member winner, Annie Fox from Harlan County Friends of the Shelter. I think you will find her story and mission remarkable.
Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. This is a super exciting interview for Shelters United. So I'm just going to get into it. I'm Marcy Groovy, the Director of Integrated Sales and Marketing for Shelters United. With me today as my co-host, I have Mary Beth Hewitt, our Director of Membership, who has been helping organizations for over 20 years to save money and optimize their budgets. And the woman of the hour, who has been an absolute joy to get to know in the last couple of weeks, is Annie Fox, is joining us today. and did I get your title correct? Are you the chairperson, Annie, for Harlan County
Yes.
Friends of the Shelter, chairperson?
Yes, I am.
And Harlan County Friends of the Shelter is located in Baxter, Kentucky, since 2015. Is that correct?
Well, the shelter.
Yes.
Yeah, the Friends of the Shelter has been active since 2015.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And just from your website, I was just kind of gleaning, just to give a quick intro. You work to prevent animal cruelty, assist in animal care, rescue homeless animals, pet adoption, educate the public about being good pet parents, and spay neuters, which is
Right.
a lot.
Right.
You guys do so
It's a
much.
Somebody really doing everything there.
Yeah, which I think a lot of groups can attest to. You kind of do a little bit of everything these days.
You do
right?
whatever, is thrown your way. And when you live in a very, very rural area, where there's not a lot of resources and there's not a lot of infrastructure, then you get thrown a lot of stuff.
You get thrown a lot of stuff. Yep. So I'm just going to start out with just, if you want to introduce your organization missions and any specific goals or events that you're working towards right now, and then we'll just kind of continue the conversation. So if you'd like to tell our folks, our viewers, our audience, what you do and how you do it.
Well, what we do is we are a nonprofit, and we were actually, we came to fruition because we are in a rural area, and we did not even have an animal shelter in our county until it was mandated by law. And so it was one of those things, okay, we'll do a shelter, but we're going to do the minimum. We're going to fund it the minimum, and because there's not a lot of resources. So we developed our 501c3 to fill in the gap, to try to, do some just basic medical on our animals. Everybody that now comes through the doors gets a vaccine. Everybody's vaccinated. We created our rescue transport program because we have so many animals. And I know in a lot of our other states, there's such laws to prevent, overpopulation. And we don't have that. So we just have a whole bunch of animals. And so one of our biggest programs right now is our transport and rescue programs. And so we do that, and we do our adoptions, and then you can't, as you can't euthanize your way out of the problem of overpopulation. And we're trying to educate to that. So that's why we do all of our spay and neuter, subsidize our spay and neuter. We've actually started now to try to do some TNR because cats are obviously, rampant. And we have actually teamed up with LMU, which is Lincoln Memorial University. They're a brand new vet school. They've been in practice about 4 years. They have actually graduated their first set of vets. And so we partner with them now. They use some of our animals for spay and neuter education, and then they also helped us adopt out too. So
that is a cool collaboration.
It is a cool collaboration, and actually, we were partners with them in a grant with the PetSmart grant a few years ago, and I was able to obtain. We ended up building our own spay and neuter clinic inside our shelter, and they were able to provide me with an autoclave. So and some of their students come up and they assist, and look in, and then we're trying to do some wellness days where they can come up and do wellness checks on animals. Sure. So it's in the making. Yeah. So
well, especially with, access to care all across the country. Especially, I know you mentioned rurally, it can be difficult. That sounds at least like not only is that partnership assists, younger people trying to help in access to care and want to be part of the solution and have their careers furthered with it. So you're supporting that community and they're supporting you as well, which just is really cool to
we're hoping to grow a few vets that will actually come back to the area. We have a lot of, an out migration of a lot of our population because there's not a lot of opportunities for employment and stuff. So this way, we're hoping maybe we can grow a few of our own. So.
Exactly. Oh, good. Keep those relationships going. Awesome. That sounds incredible. So my second question is kind of why we're here. As Annie and Harlan, County Friends of the Shelter, joined during Shelters United 2K for 2K Member Milestone, and we were running it was a prize contest where groups that joined got an opportunity until we reached our 2000th member. Everyone that joined during that period got a chance to win $2,000. So that is why Annie is here, because she has won that, and we were so excited that you selected, and it's so well deserved. And in our conversations previously, you just such a joy to talk to, and like so knowledgeable, and we're just so excited. So I would just like to say or ask, are you planning to do anything special with the money?
Boy, it's kind of like it's just like a Christmas in November. It's just, there really is a Santa Claus.
Yes.
I've got to talk with my team members, of course. Okay. We're in the process right now of doing some remodeling inside our shelter, and kind of, because it was just kind of an abandoned building that has been worked on over the years. We actually are developing an outside area for a meet and greet where animals and potential adopters can meet and interact some, out in a more natural environment. So there's a couple of things with that, but then also, this may allow me to partner, this 2000 may allow me to partner with LMU actually, and do some big TNR in our county, which would be so good. And it's so needed. So that's a couple of things that are definitely, on my list. And that and increasing our transport, if we can, we need more outreach. We need to reach more potential adopters and potential rescue partners. So, maybe something along that line too.
Sure. And along the transport topic, since we're talking about it, tell us a little bit about like what you do now. So are there certain areas that you're transporting to that may be easier if groups are in that area, they could connect with
Yes.
you, or tell us a little about that. So,
Well, we actually have two major transport partners, and one is based in Chicago and the other one is based in Minneapolis. So we do like a dog leg transport every 2 weeks where we need to and they're like the big rescues, and then they filter out to some of their local rescues in their area. So every 2 weeks, that means we have to photograph every animal, we have to temp test every animal, we have to do those videos, of course we have to do the all the vaccinations, and we have to get all that together and then send it out to the rescues. They end up sending it out, and then they will choose. It's a real tight frame because sometimes it'll be Thursday night or Friday morning of the rescue before they confirm. And so if we had more partners, and then what we do is we have a trailer. We have we raised funds and built our own rescue trailer, so we can actually take sometimes 60 animals every 2 weeks.
Wow.
We transferred out almost 1,000 animals last year. So and the other, so Safe Hands is in Minneapolis, and then Starfish is in Chicago. So
I think Starfish just joined us recently.
Really?
May have just joined. Yeah. Okay.
We'll give them a shout out too. Starfish.
Yeah, they're a member. Yeah.
Oh.
And Safe Hands? How about Safe Hands?
Safe Hands sounds familiar.
It does sound familiar. I think so.
Yeah, they were in Minneapolis, and they actually
remember too.
Purchased. Okay. Give them a shout out. Okay.
I'm totally gonna get Safe Hands Starfish. Hey.
There's a shout out.
That's so funny. Well, I mean, if there's any groups in the area, how can they get a hold of you, Annie? How would they do that?
Golly, just get on our Facebook. Just call me. Just call the shelter. We are always looking for new rescue partners, because we just, there's more animals than there are rescues, and we just don't want to euthanize if we can. Yeah, we just don't. But it's hard.
It is hard. It sounds like you have a system in place. So
we have a big trailer, and our animal control officers are very willing to load and unload, and a leg at a time that they go and do. It's hard work. It's hard work.
It is hard
but
work.
I don't have the person that I don't have a designated, because there's not enough money in the budget. I don't have a designated rescue coordinator, which is in a perfect world what we would have, So various volunteers come up and help us, and as it's volunteers, so sometimes they're there, and sometimes other things happen in their life that they can't be there. So it's always a touch and go. It's always a touch and go. So
I think your process though is pretty thorough, and it sounds like, with the photos and the paperwork and the timing, I know it's always a tight turnaround, but it sounds like
right. I mean, we had to take these dogs 80 miles to get their health certs on the way. That's how rural we are. I mean, it's rural.
It is. It's out there. You guys are out there.
It's out there.
Yeah.
It's out there.
Now, Mary Beth, I want to chit chat with you, because I know that you are Annie's contact member consultant here at SU, and I know that when it was you that won, Annie, Mary Beth was delighted because it was her connection, and so I just want for Mary Beth to just, from the other side of the veil, I guess, or the wall, it's just what your experience was, Mary Beth, and your relationship with Annie, and how you support her group as well. Just if you want to, I know you wanted to say a little bit about it to Annie.
So, it's interesting because Annie is one of those members that the first time we spoke, she said, look, this is what I'm doing. And she told me a lot of what she just told us about what what they're doing down there at Harlan County Friends of the Shelter, but I did what I do. You know, it's kind of what I like to do. I like to find ways to save. I know that Annie, we helped you
Uh,
with a lot of things that you needed, but you were able to purchase, you were able to get it shipped to you. I know recently we
yes,
got another drum of rescue, right? Rescue
right,
disinfectant. But
right,
I
yes,
think that, you know, I think saving on the Celerid, the needles, the syringes, that
absolutely.
the things that allow you to vet those dogs and put them on a trailer every 2 weeks, because they're not going anywhere if they're not cared for. You
No,
can't send them, right? Legally, we can't send
no,
them out.
no, you can't.
So I think that, you know, I think that finding ways to save money to get that med and make it happen, hopefully has been, you know, just a little bit of one less worry, a
Oh,
little bit less of a worry for you.
oh, and it has been, and it's so much, and so just to be able to buy, like you were telling me about a special you had on flea meds, you know,
Mhm.
and to be able to justify that, you know, I can buy that. I can, you know, and I can't buy stuff at retail cost. You know, when you've got, you know, 80 dogs in the shelter, you know, and 30 some cats, you know. But when you run these specials and then to do that, and when we actually I wasn't even I bought from MWI, but I wasn't a members of Shelter United when we did our clinic. I bought, I don't know how many spay packs and neuter packs, and just getting that up and running, and but the syringes and things that you go through so many. I order it and it shows up. I mean, in such record time. I'm so always just so pleased. So just, yeah, just you have been incredible. And if I need something and I don't know what it is, I call Mary Beth and say, well, this is the problem. This is, I'm not a, you know, I don't know what drug, but can you tell me what might work? And, you know, that type of thing. Or is there anything cheaper or that will still do the same thing? That type of thing. It's just, it's like having, you know, a voice in the wilderness.
Mary Beth, that's your new title. You are Shelters United Voice of the Wilderness.
Voice of the Wilderness. Thank you, Annie. No, thank you. And it really, it's a pleasure to, it's my fulfillment to, you know, to be able to do things that I know are going to help you make it happen on the other end. So I hope that we can continue that and continue, you know, as you get more, you know, maybe this will open up an opportunity for you to get more transports, and then we can get more of what you need and get it down
Oh,
there
that
to
would be,
you.
yeah, that would just be awesome.
For
So
future.
awesome. Yes, yes,
It does.
absolutely.
It's very fulfilling to help you do your work, Annie. And we can just, if we're just a small part of that, it is so meaningful to the team. So
Well, thank you. I mean, you're a true partner.
thanks. Now,
we want
looking
to
to the future, we were talking about future stuff. So if you want to just discuss any 2024 goals or initiatives that you are planning, we'd love to hear them.
It's only been in the last year that we have opened up for local adoptions. Part of what we need to do is educate, and we want to educate our public about, you know, pet ownership and what is responsible pet ownership. And there's a need for that. So we'd like to get in our schools and you know, talk in our schools, and actually one of our schools right now is, you know, doing a fundraiser for for us, you know, blankets, litter, cat litter, dog food, cat, that type of thing. And, you know, the more we can do that, the more we can raise awareness that so that's one of our goals, is just to raise general awareness across the area. We do want to implement a TNR program, and, you know, educate people and develop some community cat partnerships. So, you know, that there is a benefit to having some community cats. and getting partners in that will help us maintain that once we get them spayed and neutered, that type of thing. That and to be able to do some well clinics is another thing that is on our radar for 2024 for sure. And then to increase, like I said, hopefully the transport. It's an ongoing thing, and we will still be ongoing remodeling of this building. You know, I'd love to do some. I know it's not very, you know, flashy, but I need non-porous floors in the back. You know,
it's important.
You know. And they're extremely expensive, and you know, my dogs need those. You know, we're lucky with the rescue and being able to purchase the rescue at a cost that I did. You know, that's going to keep us from having the distemper outbreaks, the parvo outbreaks. But I need my dogs in the kennels need they need better houses than what they've got.
Absolutely.
You know, but it's a work in progress. You know, it's a matter of, you know, it's a matter of raising the funds and raising, you know, but it's that type of thing. So that's kind of what's on our radar for the next year or two.
And if anyone watching or listening is just your average everyday Marcy, how can they get involved if they want to support you, Annie? Where can they go? How can they give or donate? Or anything?
Friends we have a donate button on the Friends of the Shelter on the on our website, and that's always you know, great. And then to share when we put up our adoptable dogs, or you know, when we put up our, you know, if you could share this. Because we're so rural, and I think that's, you know, the internet is probably one of our best tools. And it's a tool that we haven't really, none of us have the expertise to really, you know, do it the way it could and should be done probably. But to get involved there, become a member of Friends of the Shelter, and just, you know, pass the word on. I've done a little bit of grant writing, you know, for us. So we have been able to, we've gotten a few grants along the way that have enabled us to really do some good spay and neuter and some vaccines and that type of thing. And that's where we want to continue to, you know, focus a lot, you know.
Yeah, it's ambitious, very ambitious. And from what it sounds like, 1,000 animals transported last year, and it's incredible what you guys do. And
but our shelters are still full. That's the thing.
Yeah,
you know, we do.
It is.
We do the rescue. We do the adoption. We're still full.
Yeah.
And
well, hopefully that's where that education comes into play too in your community. Over time, that starts to take impact and help make that, you know, a better situation.
We actually, one of our volunteers did a mud-agree. I don't know if you are familiar with that, but it's actually a school-based curriculum about, and it's called MUT, M-U-T-T, mud-agree.
Mud-agree, got it.
And the school, but it's got the lesson plans. It's got everything that's all about how to be a responsible animal owner and and so we initiated that in one of our schools, and I'm sorry to say that I have not followed up on that the way I should, but something like that, I would love for that to be, you know, part of the curriculum, and, you know, a special I don't know, what do you call it, special subject matter.
So, well, and with the education too, you know, you can turn that education where someone could have that benefit in their own homes, but then they, you know, as people grow and learn more, they get that awareness for, oh, this extends just beyond my yard, this extends to my street, this extends to my city, this extends to my community. So I think and
in the mountains we would say it extends up my holler.
I have to visit someday. I want to visit so much because I'm in suburban.
I'd love to have you.
Oh, Make a road trip. There you go.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I would do it. I love a good road trip.
Aw, well, it is a pleasure to chat with you, Annie. It has been a pleasure to have you as a member. It's just a joy, and I just want to thank you so much for all you do. I want to thank your volunteers if they're watching. I want to thank your adopters if they're watching, for all they do in your community, to the kids in your school. Like, I just, you know, you are part of the difference that we need. And I always think, you know, be the change you want to see. And I think you embody that 100,000,000%. And I'm just, thank you so much for taking your time to chat.
Thank you.
And thank you for being our member. I'm so excited you get so much.
Oh, thank you. I'm just, it was just a godsend when I discovered, you know, that Shelters United. So yeah.
Well, thank you.
Well,
Thank you for being a part of this. And, you know, one little tidbit that I just think is funny is that we started this, I think, on the 17th, Marcy, and Annie was enrolled on the 19th. So she was one of the very first people to enroll after we announced the contest. She was literally probably like the second or third person to enroll.
Oh, wow.
So,
I did not know. Okay.
So really got in on the ground floor of that.
That's awesome. Well, with that, we'll say goodbye. And if you're interested in joining folks like Annie and becoming a member, and if you're interested in transporting partner, reach out to her. I'll put it on the screen if anyone's watching in my post edit. So we'll see it on the screen. I'll put your website up and your Facebook and all of that. And thank you for all you do.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We're just very grateful and humbled. So thank you.